Hi guys, it is Wendy-Anne, and today the topic is how to not take your life for granted. So it may sound like the most obvious topic, but I am going to analyze it and go more into depth so that you get why it is so important to not take your life for granted. So you have to be aware, first of all, that you cannot be aware of what happens tomorrow. Anything can happen tomorrow. Any accidents, any crisis, anything. So you first, number one, have to be aware about that, and then you're going in the right direction. And then you may have a lot of regrets for not doing something that you really wanted to do. So I would say do whatever it is that your heart desires to do. Really, just do it. That's my favorite quote. Just do it. Just in order to not have regrets, just do what you have to do. And I know that if something tends to be tiring or really hard to do, you're going to put it for the next day. But I would say, if it's really important to you, do it as soon as possible. If it's not that important, you can delay it, but I avoid delays in order to get things done and then turn on to the next page to do more things. And then you get to do so many things and you're unstoppable. So that's the root of how to not take your life for granted. I am as I told you, very conscious about time, and I think to not take your life for granted, you have to be aware that there are 366 days in a year, and if you're aware about that, you're going to go in the right way, and you're going to mature in the right way and really go in the right way of life. Because if you're aware that 360 days pass by in a year, you're going to put all your energy into that one day every 366 days. You're going to fill your days, and without, overdoing it, but really fill them up and get the things that you want to do to be done. You have to be aware we only have one life. There is this one lifetime, so you cannot take your life for granted, because it's only one chance. And there's a quote saying, once is sufficient if you do it right. So I would say really do the things that matter most to you immediately, right now. So you have to make a list from the most important to the least important. So if your dream goal is to be a footballer, play football. Just do it every day, because there's just one lifetime. So please do what you have to do. So if you're aware about that, that's really good, and you're going in the right way. As I told you, I was aware about time when I was 17, but before that I wasn't really aware of it, because when you're a teenager you don't really focus on that kind of thing. Well, some do, but I really focused on it at 17 onwards, because that's when I started to realize, oh my god, I'm 17. But this is really my biggest advice, because you're going to be so proud of yourself at the end of your life, don't want to be cynical, that you've done so many things, a great number of things that you've always wanted to do. The time to get your dreams there is now. It's not about having envy towards your dreams. Adulthood is about achieving those dreams, so this is what you have to get in your head. When you're a child, you can even get those dreams done as well. But also for those who think they started too late, I really wouldn't worry about that. There is you can start anything you want at any age. It's not important. Even though you think, oh, I should have started decades ago and I would have had this fulfillment, I would say the sooner you realize, the better, and that's important. And then get what you have to do to be done. Yeah, for example, I've always wanted to be an actor since I was 6, and I've put my efforts to work as an actor ever since I was 6, because it's important to me and I'm not going to waste time. Each day I devote 6 to 8 hours a day to acting because it is what I want to do, and nothing else is more important than that. So I put that as a priority, and for the rest, I put it like I would do 2 hours of something else, but I wouldn't put as much effort to anything else rather than acting. That is the number one priority. So get your priorities, you know, you have to get your priorities sorted, because if you put too much focus on something that is not that important to you, what's the point? You could have put those hours into your dreams. So another advice: to not take life for granted. Really focus on choosing what's more important to you and put more energy into that than other things. So I told you about working out and acting. So working out, they say 90 minutes is sufficient. So if you work out 90 minutes, done. You move on. Some people do overwork out because they're like gym coaches and it's their ambition. So yeah, they would put all their energy into that. So there you go. And that said, yeah, really don't take life for granted. Really don't. I mean, it's so easy to fall into the video game, YouTube videos trap because we want to escape and we want to feel comfortable. And as human beings, we love watching something else than the reality because it feels good. But I think it's really time consuming. I'm not against it. Of course, you have to be aware and you have to watch movies and be aware of the world. But don't overdo that. Really focus on working on yourself. That's how you don't take life for granted. Really working on yourself and putting yourself as a priority is the most important thing to do in this world, because it's your story, and at the end of the day, you're going to have the greatest story if you put so much effort every day, taking every minute, every hour, every second into account, with regarding that you should sleep as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I know it's the most obvious quote, and yet it's not, because we still take life for granted. We still go on our phones, we still, there's still this idea of procrastination in us because we're human beings, but put your work first. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.